Okay, I prepared for 30, but we'll make the best out of it. Good morning, everybody. My name is Oluwakomo. I want to talk to you about what I call 9 lessons for my career trajectory, and you too can travel very far yourself. Very briefly, just to quickly summarize, I'm not presenting a slide, you're going to only go to see me. I graduated in 85. And over my career, let me acknowledge Mr. Awolowo there, my boss and MD at Glaxo. I worked for Glaxo as a med rep, after which I went to join Society for Family Health as National Sales Manager, went on to join, worked in South Africa for PSI, also later worked in advertising for Inside Communication as Client Service Director, joined MTN as GM Consumer Marketing, worked for MTN, worked for Airtel as CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, worked for Bank PHB as Director of Retail Banking, and also as ED of Retail Banking at FCMB, and later recently as the President and Co-CEO of OPay Nigeria, which is a fintech. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is to see different things I've done over the course of my career, and to share with you those 9 key lessons which I thought would be very useful to you, especially as you are in school. The first thing is that we must acknowledge the grace of God in all that we do. No one knows anything except by grace. So it is only grace that leads us on our path. So the 9 key lessons, if you have a book, a notebook, and I expect you to have one, please take it down. Number 1 lesson, lesson number 1. Life opportunities will not always present itself to you the way you expect. You can only make the best of life opportunities by continuous and adaptive learning. I will repeat that. Lesson 1, life opportunities will not always present itself to you the way you expect. You can only make the best of life opportunities by continuous and adaptive learning. Not in my wildest dream, when I was at Ife, like you, or when I was graduating, did I ever think I would do things like telecoms, banking, or fintech? The only reason why I've been able to cross territories, just graduating like a pharmacist like you, but the biggest dream you ever have will always be, maybe you can become the MD of a pharmaceutical company starting as a medical rep. Not in my wildest dream. And that's one key lesson I want to share with you, that the opportunities of life will not present itself the way you expect. To take the best advantage of them, you have to continuously and adaptively learn to take advantage of those opportunities, and we'll talk about them more. Lesson number 2, there are opportunities in the challenges and crises that career and life will throw at you. Lesson number 2, there are opportunities in the challenges and crises that career and life will throw at you. See, we are now talking of devaluation of the Naira. But Mr. Awolowo, our boss there in Glaxo, knows this very well, more than us. In the 1991-92, Naira was devalued from 2 Naira to 35 Naira. I was driving from Lagos to Benin City, where I was based as a medical rep. And our price list changed 3 times between Lagos and Benin in that one day. So what happened was that the size of the pharmaceutical industry shrank, because obviously prices of prescription medicines got 5, 6, 7 times more expensive. What happened? The Roche, many of the companies at that time, the Swiffers, all of them began to leave Nigeria. And that meant job contracted. Opportunities in the pharmaceutical industry contracted. So the kind of things we are seeing today are not just happening. And what does that mean? Many of us had to find opportunities outside the pharmaceutical industry. In fact, if the pharmaceutical industry did not shrink in the 1990s or 1992, someone like myself, I probably would never discover my potential to do other things in telecoms, in advertising, in banking, and fintech. Because the industry shrank, it created, we have to learn and adapt to find new things to do and new opportunities where our sales skills could be used. And that's how some of us went to join Society for Family Health. And later on, someone like myself, I went to telecoms, another way for people tended to follow the track that I took by joining telecom. So lesson number 2, the opportunities, challenges, and crises in life will throw at you. Take advantage of it. 2C, Learn and adapt to the new opportunities evolving. Don't hold to the tail of a wave that is winding down. Which waves are rising? What do I need to get onto it? Lesson number 3. You must have a high level of curiosity and self and environmental awareness to know the emerging opportunities around you and adapt to them and ride their waves. You must have a high level of curiosity, self and environmental awareness to know the emerging opportunities and adapt to them and ride their waves. Pharmacists are very brilliant. Unfortunately, pharmacy training that you are currently getting, and we are talking as brothers and sisters, in the university, pharmacy training is largely cocooned. The environmental awareness of pharmacists is one of the lowest in the world. Even on campus, the 9 to 6 that we do does not let us to know what is going on. So the big problem of life after school of pharmacists is that their environmental awareness of the opportunities around them is very low. Just as the way they are living a cocoon life when they were in university is the way they're going to live a cocoon life when they graduate. Their friends are pharmacists and their enemies are doctors. All their life is situated around doctors and pharmacists. They don't know what is going on. And the other side of it is that when you combine the problem of low environmental awareness of pharmacists with the low self-awareness, not knowing how much you are worth. Self-awareness is knowing how much you are worth. So self-awareness is why, for example, you see outside school, a BSc nursing, a BSc sociology graduate will go and take a master's in public health and join UNICEF and USAID. People who have a lower score than pharmacists, and they will become director in public health, director in USAID, in UNICEF. But pharmacists are still seated in the community pharmacy because they do not know what they are worth. The self-awareness is very low. If a BSc chemistry and engineering graduate or geology graduate are founders of fintech, you can also do the same because these guys scored a lower grade than you in JAMB, for example. So you must have a high level of curiosity, self and environmental awareness to know the emerging opportunities around you. Start changing your personal narrative today, that you will not be a cocoon pharmacist now that you're in school. People like Samuel Isaiah, who was the founder of Leadership newspaper, used to be editor-in-chief of Past Journal, just like you, sitting down there. Patrick Yamabo today, who is the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, ED Finance of First Bank, used to be a pharmacist student like you, University of Benin. Miriam Olusoya, the managing director of GT Bank today, used to be a pharmacy student at University of Ibadan, just like you. Adiola Ayola, the CEO of Pharmacy Africa, a pharmacy tech company, pharmacy e-commerce, used to be a pharmacy student like you, graduated from this same OAU in 2016, 7 years ago. If you cocooned yourself as a pharmacist, you have no awareness of who you are and what you are worth, and the opportunities around you, you will graduate and continue to live a cocoon life as a pharmacist. And that's something you must learn in terms of lesson. I want to share with you. Lesson number 4. To continuously learn and adaptively learn, you have to know what you don't know. That is the real superior knowledge. Number 4, I repeat, to continuously learn and adaptively learn, you have to know what you don't know. That is the real superior knowledge. What you know is knowledge, but real superior knowledge is knowing what you don't know. When you don't know what you don't know, you will not know what you need to know and the actions you need to take to know what you don't know, and take advantage of the broader opportunities that life will present to you. Lesson number 5. Build adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge and continuously expand your adjacent knowledge in response to life opportunities. Your adjacent knowledge will become the knowledge bridge that will enable you to cross to new territories. Dr. Ojo told you about taking new degrees, new certificates. So this is more or less something similar. Build adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge. You're a pharmacist. But what are the adjacent knowledge to pharmacy that will enable you to build knowledge bridges to cross into new territories of opportunities? For example, in my case, I learned marketing that was adjacent to pharmacy as a med rep, as a sales and marketing manager in Glaxo. That marketing enabled me to cross from pharmaceutical industry to advertising and later to telecoms. In telecoms, I learned adjacent to marketing that I brought there. I learned retail and strategy, which enabled me to cross to retail banking. And when I was in retail banking in Bank PHB and FCMB as executive director, I learned technology and IT, which enabled me to cross to fintech and join OPE as CEO. So lesson number 5, build adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge and continuously expand your adjacent knowledge in response to life opportunities. Your adjacent knowledge will become the knowledge bridge that will enable you to cross to new territory. That is the whole concept of adaptive learning. If you do not adaptively learn, you will suboptimize your opportunities in life. Lesson number 6. You cannot be bigger than your industry. Your salary and long-term compensation, that is pricing, as a pharmacist, is a function of the size of the pharmaceutical industry, demand, and the supply of pharmacists. Number 6, lesson 6, you cannot be bigger than your industry. Your salary and long-term compensation, pricing, your pricing as a pharmacist is a function of the size of the pharma industry, demand, and the supply of pharmacists. This is the only way you can understand the kind of compensation young pharmacists are getting today. If you want your story to be different, you must learn how to get into a bigger ocean and grow. Lesson number 7. Even if you stay in the pharmaceutical industry, unless you are exposed to business practices and knowledge outside the pharmaceutical industry, you are likely to just be a regular pharmacist. Lesson 7, even if you stay in the pharmaceutical industry, unless you are exposed to business practices and knowledge outside the pharmaceutical industry, you are likely to just be a regular pharmacist. Examples of these are people like Chris Ehime. Pharmacist Chris Ehime, who is the managing director of Net Pharmacy, one of the big retail pharmacy chains that we have in Nigeria today. I used to be an ex-med rep in Sterling, later worked for Globacom, where he learned retail, later worked for Bank PHB, where he learned retail banking. All these experiences, he came back to apply it to Net Pharmacy and scale the business when he returned to that business. So if you need to tap into knowledge and practice outside the pharmaceutical industry to even be a successful pharmacist beyond the regular pharmacist. Mrs. Joke Bakari, who also has a solid business network outside pharmacy, running MedPlus, like with the practice of a modern retail chain. So that is lesson number 7. If you stay as a pharmacist, unless you explore business practices outside pharmacy, you will just be a regular, ordinary pharmacist. Lesson number 8, one of the most important things I want to talk about today. Lesson number 8, the tech industry, the technology industry is 100 times bigger than pharmaceutical industry and is still growing. The opportunities in tech industry will surpass pharmaceutical industry. You must learn technology skills and join the wave. It will make you travel further than what pharmaceutical industry may give you. We are talking as brothers and sisters, and I'm speaking to you from my heart so that you learn what I have learned and you can travel further. 7 out of the 10 biggest companies in the world today by market capitalization are tech companies. Our market capitalization is what they call the estimation of the future cash flows of those industries brought forward to today. So some of you who are going to do MBA and land finance, 7 out of the 10 biggest market companies today in the world by market capitalization today are tech companies. Only one of them is a finance company, one of them is an oil company, and only one, Eli Lilly, is a pharmaceutical company. 7 are tech companies. Microsoft, Google, Nvidia, Amazon, those are the companies that you find out of the top 10 pharmaceutical companies in the world. Apple is $2.7 trillion in market cap. Microsoft is $2.3 million in market cap. They are 5 times bigger than the market capitalization of the largest pharmaceutical company, Eli Lilly. Google is 3 times bigger than Eli Lilly. Eli Lilly, the pharma industry, the biggest pharma company by market cap, is 147 years old. Apple is just 47 years old. Eli Lilly is 147 years old. Despite Apple being 1/3 of the age of Eli Lilly, it is 5 times bigger than Eli Lilly today in market cap. That tells you where the future of the world is, so that you can make up your mind to key into it. Even if you like pharma, approach it as from technology as a pharma tech person. It has never been more true That bachelor's degree that you are going to get means begin again. When you graduate, go and learn tech, in addition to the pharmacy that you have learned. Because during this ASU strike vacation, go and learn a tech skill and begin to build a career that is wider than the pharmaceutical industry. I will pray that 50% of you will move outside the pharmaceutical industry, while 50% of you stay back. That is what will be best collectively for the pharmaceutical industry. Because the people who go will come back to be a blessing to the pharmaceutical industry, just as I am talking to you today. Lesson number 9, and we're rounding up. Cram and pour will not prepare you to solve real life and business problems. You need to learn critical thinking and problem solving and other skills. Number 9, cram and pour, which is the typical way in which we are trained in pharmacy, and regrettably and sadly, I understand that is what is it continuing. Will not make you to learn how to solve real life problems. You need to learn critical thinking and problem solving skills and other skills. Pharmacist Ojo talked about this. The reason why lawyers and engineers tend to do better than pharmacists outside school, after school, is that they learn critical thinking in engineering, in economics, system thinking, much more than we do in terms of cram and pour. Critical thinking, there's a method in terms of how to think. When I was here 10 years ago, to the glory of God, to speak at the 50th anniversary, I talked about this. The way in which we are taught, those courses where they are teaching case study pedagogy, case study to teach like law, like engineering, people learn problem solving in those kind of case study pedagogy rather than the typical cram and pour that we do in pharmacy school, and it affects what we do later in life. Problem solving, cram and pour pedagogy will not help us. So learn how to solve problems. There's a method about how people think, logic, the kind of things that law students do in Logic 201 before they go to Faculty of Law. Those are the skills that are needed in life to solve problems. You also learn it even if you are not in the class. You must also have quantitative and numerical skills, communication skills. Lulu talked about this. Creativity. All these skills will prepare you to travel much further in life, rather than the cram and pour that we typically have done in the pharmaceutical industry. So, rounding up, I have 3 more minutes. Just these 9 key summaries of the life lessons of my career trajectory. Number 1, life opportunities will not present itself to you the way you expect. You must continuously learn and adaptively learn to take the best advantage of life opportunities. Lesson 2, the opportunities, the challenges, and the crises that career and life will throw at you. Number 3, you must have a high level of curiosity, self and environmental awareness to know emerging opportunities, adapt to them, and ride their waves. Number 4, to continuously learn and adaptively learn, you have to know what you don't know. This is the real superior knowledge, superior to what you don't know. Lesson 5, build adjacent knowledge to your core knowledge and continuously adapt, continuously expand your adjacent knowledge in response to life opportunities. Your adjacent knowledge will become the knowledge bridge that will enable you to cross to new territories. Lesson 6, you cannot be bigger than your industry. Your salary and long-term compensation, your pricing as a pharmacist is a function of the size of the pharmaceutical industry, the demand and the supply of pharmacists. Lesson 7, even if you stay in the pharmaceutical industry, unless you are exposed to business practices and knowledge outside the pharmaceutical industry, you are likely to just be a regular pharmacist. Lesson 8, the technology industry, tech industry is 100 times bigger than pharmaceutical industry and is still growing. The opportunities in technology industry will surpass pharmaceutical industry. Learn technology skills and join the way. It will make you travel further than what pharmaceutical industry will give you. Lesson 9, cram and pour, typical in pharmacy training, will not prepare you to solve real life and business problems. You need to learn critical thinking, problem solving, and other skills to travel far in life. Those are the 9 lessons, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you well, as pharmacy students. Wishing you well, set your vision very far and travel very far when you apply those lessons. Best wishes to you in your career. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pharmacist Olu Akomu. These lessons, you may think